Was Friday Night Smackdown a decent show tonight? The answer would surprise you as we review Friday Night Smackdown for the week of October 18th, 2019. Hey guys, are you ready for your hot tag? Because VR is definitely time to warp.
Oh, hey folks, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're watching WGS-TV. Tough guy.
What's up, guys? I am the Wrestle Gamer. Welcome back to another episode of WrestleDOWN on WGS Studios. And joining me on the review tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you know him. You see him right here on the other side of the screen. It's the Studly Man, Ashley. Ashley, how you doing tonight?
Hang on. Where's the Oshirai?
Oh, we don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't.
Now I know how you feel. Now I know how you feel. Jeez. I think I've been neuralized.
Before we get started,
right.
I want to send a
1985 WrestleMania 1. Woo! Wait, what?
Well, before we get the review started, I want to send out a special shout out to a couple of friends of mine. Their names are Rick and Katie White. They have both worked with me over the past year on physical therapy, been trying their hardest and their damnedest to not only help me get stronger, but help teach me the exercises that I've been doing over the past 8 or 9 months to basically help me get stronger. And today was their very last day here in Louisiana, because tomorrow they begin their adventure, their drive with their camper all the way to Northern California. So I just want to send a special shout out to Rick and Katie. I want to thank you for everything that you've done for me, and I want to wish you both nothing but the best. And I hope you guys have a fantastic time. I hope you guys make a whole lot more friends in Northern California, and just let you know that you do have a few people here in Louisiana who are still thinking about you. Now, off the sappy stuff, and
does that make them that Fred Savage's kid brother from The Wizard? California.
Oh God, only you would make a reference like that, Ash. But now, first off, Friday Night SmackDown would have a new opening considering how the draft went last week and this past Monday, and it's really not that bad of an intro. There were 2 featured matches going into tonight's show: a 6-pack challenge to crown a new #1 contender to Bayley's SmackDown Women's Championship, and Shinsuke Nakamura defending the Intercontinental Championship against Roman Reigns. So how did everything go down? Well, to answer that question, let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown.
What's more important for a wrestling YouTuber/podcaster, verbally bashing WWE or being honest with their opinions?
The opening match this week was the Intercontinental Championship match I just mentioned, Shinsuke defending the title against Roman Reigns. Upon hearing the announcement of said match, the meme masters of the internet struck by bringing up the past story of when Shinsuke got attacked by someone's dog about a year ago. Think about it. Sami Zayn was on commentary for most of this match, getting annoyed with Michael Cole referring to him as Shinsuke's business associate instead of the Great Liberator. However, whenever Reigns was getting the better of Nakamura in the match, Zayn would jump on the apron to provide a distraction, i.e., Reigns was ready to hit the Superman punch, but Zayn provided said distraction, allowing Nakamura to capitalize on said distraction. However, when Cole started to mention that there was a confrontation on social media earlier today with Reigns and King Corbin, that was almost a textbook way to announce how the finish of the match was going to go. Reigns would connect with a Superman punch, but was unable to pin Nakamura. Reigns was sizing Shinsuke up for the spear, but he would get attacked from behind by King Corbin with the scepter. Once again, I'll give everyone a chance to giggle. But before the beatdown could continue...
No, we giggle at Dwayne saying, fucked, and then WWE going...
Oh, God. But before the beatdown could continue, out would come Daniel Bryan to attempt to make the save. Bryan took it to both Corbin and Nakamura, but when he tried for a tope suicida, Sami Zayn grabbed the leg and the attention of Bryan, which left him wide open for Nakamura's Kinshasa. Ash, I gotta tell you, the way they almost worked this made me wonder, when in the world is Teddy Long gonna come out and say, We're going to have ourselves a tag team match, playa.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you should have been there all along. That would have solved things, got it done. Why did he let go? Oh wait, he was sensible.
Yeah, to a degree. Backstage, the New Day were singing to themselves. I don't know why. But when...
I don't know what song it was parodying, because I should know.
But then, well, as they were
Something
doing
about
that...
we don't want no kids.
Yeah. Tucker showed up with a picnic table. He said even though they are involved in the biggest tag team turmoil match at Crown Jewel, that tonight they were teammates and wanted to build up some team spirit. So Otis came in with a bikini apron, appeared with a bowl and a whisk.
As you do.
As
you do.
Appeared with a bowl and a whisk for making pancakes.
As you do.
And then Tucker poured some protein powder into it. Otis offered it to the New Day, but they declined, so Otis drank it. Now, when I say drank, he basically poured it all over his face and beard. That's an image, Ash, that'll never leave me.
Hang on. Haven't done this in a while. Please tell me this is on YouTube so the spot works.
Do you want me to edit everything out until you get there?
No. This is as live. This isn't supposed to look professional. Because when I saw Otis's face, all I was thinking of was this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Billy actually got the reference to something that was on the internet. My god.
Oh. I didn't want to put two and two together, but I didn't have a choice in that matter. Anyway, following that, it was Curtis Axel taking on Shorty Gable. Really not much to talk about here. A pretty much basic match. However, we would see how good Gable was when he came to chain wrestling and how fluid his movements were, especially when he transitioned into the ankle lock, forcing Axel to tap out. After the match, Gable would make an inspirational promo to the crowd about accepting and embracing who you are no matter what, because he accepted who he was. So he said he was Shorty Gable, but then he wanted to shorten it. So now he wants to be known as Shorty G. Ashley, dear God, why?
The rumors are true.
Why?
The rumors are true. That's why it was trademarked. Don't ask me why, because the amount of people that are saying that they'll only refer to him as Chad Gable in like reports and whatever is sort of not going down well. A lot of people on Twitter have been using the Chris Jericho, that was an old thing done by stupid creative. That, you know, that when he rebuked the fans for the We the People thing, which is annoying because the We the People thing is the whole part of his gimmick in Bellator. So, you know,
and
I guess he'll have to come up with a new gimmick.
And I do believe Jake Hagar has a match on Bellator coming up this weekend, I believe. If it hasn't happened
this
yet.
weekend?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, up next, it was an 8-man tag team match as Heavy Machinery teamed up with the New Day to take on the Smackdown Tag Team Champions, the Revival, and the former Raw Tag Team Champions, the Glorious Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. For about the first half of this match, it was Heavy Machinery and New Day basically having their way with them. Seeing Big E and Otis dancing before doing the wishbone leg split on Ziggler is something I never want to see again. However, they would have their way with both members of the Revival with stereo belly-to-back suplexes on them, sending them to the outside where Xavier Woods got the better of them with a somersault senton. However, he would get caught by Roode and Ziggler as they tipped things in their favor with the spinebuster zigzag combo on the floor. And for several minutes, Xavier found himself in trouble, in danger of losing the match for his team, until he was able to make the hot tag and the action picked up for sure. One spot was on the outside with Tucker laying out both Ziggler and Dash Wilder. Scott Dawson would attempt a suplex on Otis, of all people. There's not enough Wheaties in the world that would help Dawson do that. Otis picked him up for a suplex and held him there. Then Big E tagged himself in, and Otis placed Dawson on top of Big E, which set up the midnight hour, giving New Day and Heavy Machinery the win. In essence, Ash, I gotta say, decent 8-man tag. I really don't have anything bad to say about it, other than Otis and Big E dancing together in the same ring. No.
I mean, there's nothing bad to say about it, but then there's also nothing good to say about it. There was nothing to sort of stand out. It was house show Smackdown. At least that's how it partly felt anyway, to me.
You and a lot of other people, to be honest. As we all saw last week on SmackDown, Bayley revamped her character by turning heel, slashing the Bayley Buddies, sometimes that's even hard for Bayley to say, and winning back the SmackDown Women's Championship from Charlotte McBoob Flair. So on Miz TV, The Miz had both Bayley and Sasha Banks on to try to get an explanation for the new attitude. After they exchanged certain pleasantries with the A-lister, Bayley would go on to give the explanation that she was tired of giving herself to everyone with hugs, high fives, and so on, and getting nothing in return. She even mentioned that when she lost the title at Hell in a Cell to Charlotte, that there was no one back there to hug her and console her. So she made it all about herself. Then she gave the audience an inspirational quote that Vince McMahon made many a year ago by saying, "Life sucks, then you die." However, she didn't say it with very much enthusiasm. She would also accuse the women's division on SmackDown being lazy, and upon hearing that, out would come Nikki Cross and said that the time for talking was over and it was time for action, and that when she wins the SixPack challenge, she was going to go over and give Bayley a great big hug. I wouldn't deny a hug from Nikki Cross. Dana Brooke was next and basically said that the flex appeal was there on SmackDown. I guess they're doing that, to give Dana some merch. I don't know why, or something to that extent. Anyway, this would lead into the SixPack challenge match with Cross, Dana, Carmella, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Lacey Evans. Now, when you think about it, Carmella would be the standout pick, because her character is supposedly one of Bayley's friends backstage, so sometimes the old saying, former friends do make better rivals. In the match itself, Fire and Desire would rely on teamwork and whatnot to take it to the other women. However, it wouldn't last very long, mostly thanks to Dana Brooke with a flying double back elbow and Carmella wiping everyone out with a crossbody spot. Carmella would eventually lock on the code of silence on Mandy, but before she could tap out, Sonya Deville would break it up. And then a super kick party would start, in a sense, thanks to Carmella kicking Deville and Lacey. However, Mandy would hit a knee strike on Carmella, which left her wide open for Nikki Cross as she connected with her Fisherman's Neckbreaker to pick up the win and become the new #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's Champion. Actually, to me, I think the key thing here that I felt that kind of tipped me into going with Nikki Cross for the win is just basically the promo she cut at the start of the match.
So she should be busy being a tag team with, Alexa. Or is she actually just disappeared now because she too gets injured all the fucking time like Sasha? It says a lot that two of your biggest names on the brand aren't even available at the minute because of bullshit.
Well, technically, we just want to make it clear, because I don't believe I said this already, but Sasha Banks did accompany Bayley on Miz TV. I just want to make that clear for everyone.
But she didn't wrestle.
No, she did not.
I don't think you'll see her wrestle for quite a while, because WWE is being extra cautious, which is good, but my problem is if they can wrestle one week and then not, despite the fact we've heard no word that, they're injured. Double standards much?
I really don't know. I really don't know. And one thing I don't know was Braun Strowman taking on Drew Gulak, who was making his Friday Night SmackDown debut as a free agent, and he wanted to help Strowman in defeating Tyson Fury with over 300 slides he compiled for a PowerPoint presentation. However, we wouldn't get past slide 1, as Strowman just beat Gulak from pillar to post. He even ran him over like a Mack truck on the outside. If you noticed with his shoulder tackle bump, that Strowman actually fell on top of Gulak. But the finish of the match would be Strowman connected with his power slam to put Gulak away. Actually, I'm sad. I was actually looking forward to the PowerPoint presentation.
My problem is, why is that gimmick on Gulak? He hasn't had that gimmick for 6 months in 205 Live? And now all of a sudden it's forced back on him? Because lol? Just to really confuse matters, he showed up at the start of 205 Live, I guess, to do some sort of address, because I only saw the gif of it off Twitter. And he goes to shake somebody's hand that's on the sort of the crowd sort of barrier at the ramp, and shakes their hand, and then immediately goes and sort of wipes it off. It's like, yes, that's the Drew I want to see. Not, I got paid money because I'm helping Tyson Fury, and it's £15 million.
Well, earlier in the evening, Hulk Hogan was there via Skype to address his team issues and the fact that Seth Rollins had dropped out of the team. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention something here, because I don't know if you saw this, Ash, but I definitely saw this. It's something, a certain label that they put on the Falls Count Anywhere match with Seth Rollins and The Fiend Bray Wyatt. Not only is it a Falls Count Anywhere match at Crown Jewel, they literally put this underneath the Falls Count Anywhere stipulation on the screen, that the match cannot be stopped for any reason.
Do you think they realise that they fucked up ever so slightly? Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly.
Just wanted to bring that up here because I noticed it. I wanted to make sure that everybody else noticed it as well. But anyway, Hogan was there on Skype to talk about that, especially with Rusev and Ricochet with being their only two team members. So he was asked about upcoming new team members. He dropped Ali's name and Shorty G's name. I can't believe I even said that. And said that there was going to be a huge announcement. I talk about that because it pertains to the main event. Daniel Bryan was already in the ring, and so was Corbin and Nakamura, as we would hear announced that Roman Reigns would be the new team captain for Team Hogan. Ash, I saw this coming from a mile away, especially when they made the announcement of the Intercontinental Championship match. They had to put somebody else, another big name, in there as the head for Team Hogan, and Roman Reigns would be the next logical choice.
I mean, yes, but I mean, I just think it's a sort of unnecessary step because it's going to get him a shit ton of hate again.
But then again, it wouldn't be his fault about that. It would be booking.
Yes, but I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, the Saudi thing I'm not infused by anyway in most cases. I doubt many people are.
We're still going to watch it. Well, I'm still going to watch it just so we can talk about it here on the podcast.
Yeah, but the amount of people that will be covering it, that will be giving their money to sort of like, you know, anti-corruption sort of charities. We might have to do the same, Billy. So I feel less and less comfortable about profiting off Saudi. Saudi!
In the main event match, Bryan would find himself in a world of trouble with Nakamura and Corbin. Bryan would try for the tag, but Corbin yanked Reigns off the apron, preventing the said tag. Corbin would then threaten to take out Reigns with the steel steps on the outside, but the referee would threaten disqualification, which seemed to anger the newly labeled Super Tough Dude. Bryan would take advantage of the distraction with a basement dropkick on the outside as Nakamura would roll him up, but Daniel Bryan quickly countered into the bell lock, but Corbin would break it up. "Hello, Mr. Reigns!" The big dog connected with a Superman punch and then speared Corbin through the ring announcer's area. Shinsuke had designs on hitting the Kinshasa, but Daniel ducked out of the way and then connected with his own running knee strike to pick up the win for his team. So, Ash, I have to say, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them announce an Intercontinental title match for next week on Friday Night SmackDown. We can't say for Saudi, because, Daniel Bryan won't go there. So, if anything, next week would probably be the time when they do it.
I mean, maybe the best time.
Well, he pinned
he
pinned the Intercontinental Champion in a tag team match.
No, I'm losing track of the time because I always got used to Saudi pay-per-views being on bloody Fridays. But they can't do that now. So yeah, considering SmackDown next week will be the go-home show, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, Team Hogan's scuppering up Team Flair. But then the problem with that is, do you want them to look strong? I'm trying to... Orton's on Raw, isn't he?
Yes. And so is Lashley.
Yeah. Ricochet and Rusev are both... So they are into brand as it stands.
Yes.
Then again, do we know the fifth member of Flair's team?
No, they haven't announced that yet. And if anything, with Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan having a face-to-face confrontation next week on SmackDown is probably when WWE would do the reveal for the fifth member of the team. But then again, what do I know? But what I do know is that it's time for overall score and thoughts. SmackDown tonight was surprisingly a solid show in my opinion. Reigns and Nakamura did what it needed to do with setting up the main event. Do we really have to refer to him as Shorty G? Thank you. I never want to see Otis drinking pancake batter laced with protein powder ever again! I commend Bayley for trying on Miz TV, but the Vince McMahon line wasn't necessary. Gulak getting pwned by Strowman was okay, but what about the PowerPoint presentation? And the main event was a solid match, and like I said earlier, don't be surprised to see WWE announce an Intercontinental Championship match for next week on SmackDown. Overall score of Friday Night SmackDown this week gets a 3 out of 5, with best match of the night going to the main event, with worst segment of the night, you guessed it, it goes to Otis chugging the protein powdered laced pancake batter backstage. Ugh, that image. It'll never leave me. Ash, over to you. Overall score and thoughts?
I mean, I'll give it a 3. It was better than sort of nothing. That might be sort of stupid praise, though. Best... I guess I'd say the best was the tag match that ended the night. Worst bit, just Bayley's execution. Bayley's thing was sort of brilliant, but then it's like, oh no, we've got to make a heel. Let's come up with something interesting. No, let's just steal a line that Vince McMahon did 20 years ago because we can't come up with... Actually, no. It's Bruce Pritchard that's in charge of this. Of course, it's something from 20 years ago.
Yep. So, anyway, guys...
And also, if the ratings go heavily down, are we blaming Bruce now? That's the big thing.
Well, if he's the executive director now, then it would have to be on him. Because he's the one that's making the creative decisions.
If the quality of the product... Well, the rumor was he was doing that anyway. The title that
But they kind of made it official when they announced him on WWE Backstage this past couple of days ago.
Yes, but the title that Bischoff had, the belief was basically ceremonial. Bruce was actually the one in charge, but now he's the one that is officially named. If anything does wrong, it can't be Eric that gets the blame. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with viewership. Especially, I'd say, as well, with next week, considering the change because of baseball.
Yes, they're going to be on Fox Sports 1 next week with Fox hosting the World Series. So that'll be interesting to see how the viewership handles when it comes to switching the network immediately like that, especially when they have to go to Fox Sports 1 just to air Friday Night SmackDown. Well, anyway, guys, that's been our thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown this week. Well, we want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown. What are your overall score? What are your thoughts? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Friday Night SmackDown? Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, be sure you slam that like button like a champ. And if you guys want to see more of WrestleDOWN right here on WGS Studios, you know the two ways you got to do it. You got to click on the subscribe button and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications. That way you guys will never miss out on another video right here on my channel. So with my special thanks to the Studley Man Ashley, I'm your friendly neighborhood Russell Gamer, reminding all of you guys out there to just stay awesome. Bye, guys!
You got a problem with the whole like and subscribe thing? Blame fucking YouTube and their algorithms.